best kind of worship. When we do a little bit of service with a pure motive, not expecting some praise or reward, with a pure motive, if we do a small act of service to anybody, not only people, animals and plants, that is the highest kind of worship. Because whatever we do to anybody, good or bad, reaches him. He is present in everyone. If I ill-treat somebody, then it also expression of, in way of ill-treating God, I'm showing respect to God, because I forget God is present in that person. If I show respect to somebody or do something good to somebody, then it reaches him. He is present in that person as a recipient. This also in the Bible. In the Bible, Jesus Christ says, even the least of things that you do to the least of my brethren, including animals, plants, and things, reaches me. Everything reaches him. So a service rendered with a pure motive, without selfishness, without expecting some reward or praise, that is the highest kind of worship. Even if you give some food to a hungry dog, or water to a hungry dog, or pour water to a drying plant, anywhere, it all reaches him. He is present in all. Every being he is present. He alone pervades the whole of creation. So we should keep in mind that whatever I do, good or bad, to anybody or to anything, reaches him. He is the recipient of everything. So when we do something, we should do it with humility, not with pride. I am helping you like that. With humility, with love, not, oh, I have to do this like this. With great joy and love and with gratitude, because we should be grateful to the other being, man or animal, person or animal, for giving us the opportunity to do this good thing. The person who does something, charity or service, should be grateful to the person who gives the opportunity for us to grow spiritually. Giving means becoming unselfish. When we do some ahuti in the yajna, some people do Gayatri yajna or some other Chandi Homa or something they do. The mantra says, Agnaye Swaha Idam Namama. They always add this phrase, Idam Namama. This is not mine. This never was mine. And if I had entertained this erroneous notion that it was mine, whatever I am offering, I am saying, I am giving that minus also. That selfishness, that I am the owner, I was the owner, should also be given up along with the thing that we give up. When we become unselfish, then we are spiritually progressing. Swami Vivekananda said in his Karma Yoga lecture that complete total unselfishness is God. The meaning of that statement is, he said unselfishness is God. That's what he wrote, 3 words. The meaning is, selfishness means notion that I am this person, this personality, this my body, this my house, this my property, this my money, this my work, and I do this. That idea of confining oneself to this one personality is selfish. I am this person. To the extent we give that up, to that extent we approach divine presence with it. Divine is infinite. No separation between you and me. Separation between you and me means selfishness, limitation, narrow-mindedness. So there is a famous saying in Sanskrit. It may be from Bhavabhuti's Uttararama-charita, a drama in Sanskrit. It says, Ayam mama parova iti gananato alpachetasam udara charitanam tu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. VSP keep this vasudhaiva kutumbakam as the motto. The meaning is, Ayam mama, this is mine, or he is mine. Para is not other, somebody else is not mine. That separation, me and somebody, mine and somebody else's, iti ganana, this kind of consideration, alpachetasam, only limited, narrow-minded people think like this. Mine, not mine. Udaracharitanam too, people who are large-hearted, but not very selfish. Udaracharitanam too, in their thinking, Vasudha eva kutambakam. Vasudha means our whole earth is their family. For me, this is my family, my spouse, my house, my child, my money, my job, my money. This is limiting. That is narrow-minded consideration. For a large-hearted person, liberal thinking person, whole earth is my family. Who is a stranger? Who is an outsider? Everybody is my own. That kind of consideration is total unselfishness. Such people who practice that unselfishness, large-heartedness, they are very close to divine realization. They are giving up the individual notion that I am this limited person, this mind, this mind, this mind, that we have to give. That's the purpose of charity and service. Not necessarily because we are improving somebody's life, not necessarily because we are making this world a better place, that's not going to happen. Because we are spiritually growing, making progress by doing service and charity. That is the spirit of service and charity. Otherwise, if you expect some name, some people give donation, and they say, you should, on the wall you should put a plaque saying that this amount of money was given by so and so such person, like that. They want that to be publicized there. That is conditional charity. Condition we should not put. Anonymously, what the right hand gives, left hand should not know. That kind of service is the best. Charity is the best kind of service. No publicity, no seeking prize, no, nothing. That is all sattvic charity, sattvic service. Spiritually uplifting. Shall we go to continue 18th chapter now? 12 sloka. He says, every karma that we do, good or bad, big or small, produces a result, invariably. Whatever we do, even a small activity of any kind, is sure to produce a result. And that result will come to us sooner or later. Nobody can escape. Nobody can get away with something. Oh, I am not going to be affected by this. Not going to happen. This law of nature. This is inviolable law of nature. All karma, good or bad, big or small, produces result. That result may come immediately or after a long lapse of time or any time. There is some gap between the karma and the karma phala. That gap delay depends upon the nature of the karma and the intensity, magnitude of the karma. Just anything in nature. Supposing you plant coriander seeds or methi seeds in a pot in your backyard or kitchen, then pour water, keep in the sunlight. In 2-3 weeks you will get it will sprout and you will get the methi leaves or coriander leaves. If you plant a mango tree, 2-3 weeks nothing happens. You have to wait for 5-6 years before you see something, some fruit, or even longer. So karma is like that. Some karma, if you do it right away, it will produce result. Some karma, for a long time nothing happens. You may think, oh, I did it, nothing happened. But sooner or later, result will come. That is the 12th shloka. The result may be good, bad, or mixed. Anishtam, unpleasant result. Ishtam, pleasant, agreeable result. Mishram, usually combination of both. Depends upon the nature of karma. So that is 12th sloka. Anishtam ishtam mishram cha trividam karmana phalam bhavati atyaginam pretya natu sannyasinam kvachit. If we give up our attachment to karma phala, doing it as an offering, then karma phala will not affect us. If it, all action must be done in a very unselfish way. Whatever result comes, I'm not going to complain, I'll accept it calmly, good or bad. I don't want anything for myself. I'm just doing it as an offering. When you offer something to somebody, that's the end of transaction. No expectation of return. I give this, he must give it back to me. Should not be there. That's the best kind of karma. If you expect some fruit or something that you do, I did this much, return must come to me, then you are limiting it. You are attached to the karma phala. That is not good. 13, 14, 15, they are very important verses. Their answers a very important question. We all have this question about something in our life, something that we did in our life. We do something with the best of intentions, in the best possible way, hoping that we get good result. Anything, bringing up children, somebody in a family, parents have 2 children, 3 children, they bring them up nicely. They make sure that their children are very well taken care of. They are sent to the best schools. They are given very good health care. Home environment is very nice, peaceful. They teach them good manners. Everything they do, parents. Expectation is they'll grow up to be nice people. When they grow up, they'll be successful people. Children will be successful in whatever they choose to do. And they will also be nice to us, to the parents, and help us in our old age. That expectation is there. Or when you teach somebody or treat a patient, if you are a physician, if you treat a patient, you give the best available treatment that's possible. And expectation is patient will recover and go home cured. Expectation is there. It's okay to have expectation because you do with a goal, with the intention that you should succeed, whatever it is. What happens in life is, again and again, we encounter failure. In spite of having done very good, especially in these days of high technology and globalization, all the work we do is influenced by what other people do. There is no such thing as solo work. I'll give examples. Therefore, the result is unpredictable. Unpredictable. You may succeed, you may fail, or usually in between. Partial success will come. Why this unpredictability of the outcome? Why this uncontrollability of the outcome? We can't control what the output is. You cannot control whatever it is. Teaching somebody, I have a very good friend of mine, he is a chemistry professor, brilliant professor, young man in some other state. And he always has to teach freshman chemistry course in college. And freshman chemistry courses are very large classes. 350 students are there. And he gives the same class, same teaching to all the 350 students. Same syllabus, same material, same presentation, same assignments, everything is same. But all the students don't get A. Some get A, some get A plus, some get B, B plus, some get C, some get C minus, some get D, some fail. There is no way to guarantee that everybody will get A. He gives the same teaching, no difference. Why this uncontrollability of the result? He gave the same best teaching. One of the factors that accounts for this variation in the outcome is, he told me that the students, the freshman class, they come from very widely varying backgrounds. Some students come from the best high schools. They have participated in science projects. They have built robots, and they have participated in spelling bee championship. They all have taken many AP courses, AP chemistry courses in their high school, and they do very well. They get A plus. Some students don't even know basic arithmetic, basic algebra they don't know. Basic chemistry they have not studied or benefited from high school. And they do poorly in the freshman class and they don't get good grades. What can you do about it? What can you do about it? He does his best teaching. That way the result of whatever you do is not in your hands. That is what Sri Krishna had said in the second chapter. Very good sloka, very important sloka. Which sloka it is, where Sri Krishna says result is not up to you? In the second chapter, Sri Krishna had clearly said, when you do some work, you have authority, control over what you do. In your karma, what you do, how much you put in, what kind of methodology, what resources, what material, that you can control. When it comes to the result of your work, you have no control. You have no control. That we have difficulty accepting that one. Second chapter, sloka 47, Sri Krishna said, Karmani eva te adhikaraha, phaleshu mate adhikaraha, karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Very important idea. That we understand, but we have this question, difficulty accepting. I am the doer, therefore if I do good work, I should succeed. That expectation we have. And again, life teaches us the other way. No matter how good work you do, how well you do, success is not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. You may succeed, you may fail, you may succeed better than you thought, exceed your expectation, or you may not succeed. Partial success maybe. Why this question is, why this result is uncontrollable, unpredictable? If I am the doer, I should be able to control the output. That is my question. Here in the 18th chapter, sloka 13, 14, 15, Sri Krishna is going to explain why this result is not in our control. There he said, in second verse, he said, result is not up to you. Ma karma palahe utarbu. You are not the producer of the result. You still have to do the work. Mate sambhos the karmani. Here he says, why there is this unpredictability and uncontrollability of the result of our work, though we are the doers. Many factors come into the equation. They determine the outcome, not just what we do. Many factors come into the equation. Besides what I do, my effort is only one of them. Those other factors which affect the outcome of my work, I have no control, full control over any of them. This is our daily experience. I'll give you some examples. In any work situation, professional situation, whether you are doing research or treating patients or doing teaching students, treating whatever you do, bringing up children in your own family, You are the parents. But how much control do you have about the outcome? How the children, you give the same upbringing, you have 3 children, you give the same upbringing, identical. You don't make any distinction. Same home environment, loving environment, supporting environment, good health care, send them to best schools, private schools, and take them all to the school activities, give them opportunity to do different things, music or gymnastics or swimming or soccer or whatever. Provide all their facilities. Take care of all their needs. How they grow up, what they do, whether they'll be successful in their life, good decent people, or they will be failure in their life, or they may be in between. How much can you control? You look around in families, you see this anomalous situation. Parents give the best available, best possible upbringing, but each child grows up and becomes different. It grows up differently. So many examples can be given. Any work that we do, the result is governed not only by what we put into it, but by other factors over which we have no control. In this case, other factors were the boy's own previous karma and this being influenced by the other students who were taking. The boy's previous karma impressions he brought to this life, this prarabdha karma, nobody can change. It is some result of something done in the past. That boy cannot change, parents can do much less. We all are subject to same. You take any person's life, at this moment what I am in my life, good or bad, wise or foolish, healthy or sick, whatever I am at this life, at this point in my life, is result of 2 things. What I brought myself from a previous karma, prarabdha karma, and what I received from the environment, from my parents, family, upbringing, school. So that is what I am. How much of it can you change? Very little. This happens in the case of in any field of human endeavor. Treating patients. One patient comes, we had long discussion with one doctor once. The discussion started because when I went to his office, I went for my own problem. In his office, I was sitting across the desk from him. On his desk, I saw a copper plaque, 9-10 inches. On the plaque, this was etched: I treat, he cures. I mentioned this one. I asked him, I was struck by that one. It's exactly what Sri Krishna says in the Gita. You do the effort, he produces the result. So, a discussion. He says that is true. I can give you the best possible treatment as a doctor. But whether the patient recovers fully, partially, or not at all, the doctor has no control. Because besides what the doctor gives by way of treatment, that person's body also has to react. 2 people, same ailment, same treatment, react differently. Same medication. Each body reacts differently. At different times, same body. That is not under doctor's control. Not only that, when you treat a patient, lot of other uncontrollable factors enter into the equation. And the doctor prescribes a test. Patient goes, doctor said get this blood test or X-ray or whatever. With the prescription, the patient goes to a lab core or quest or something. There the technician does the test, sends the report by fax to the doctor next day. Now the doctor has to take the further step of prescription of the treatment based upon the report he gets from the lab. Right? Now, what the report says is the basis for the doctor's action, the prescription, treatment. If the report is faulty because of human error in the lab technician or because of equipment malfunction, the technician himself or herself has no control. The result report that the doctor gets, on which he bases his treatment, if it is faulty, if it is wrong, then the result is unpredictable. It happened to me. I went to hospital for something. On the day I came home, the doctor gave me a few sheets of paper. These are lab reports. And I was going through lab reports. Then one page, one report didn't make any sense. I roughly know my numbers. Everything seemed out of whack. This can't be true. Then I looked at the top of the page. That was some other patient's lab report given to me as my report. Some other patient, name is different, age is different, condition is different. If the doctor had based that statement on that report, what would have happened? Because somebody, long line of people are involved in this work. Many people participate in any activity these days. The lab person who did the report, maybe first day on his job, may have had argument with his spouse before leaving home in the morning, very bad mood, equipment may be malfunctioning, faulty calibration. All these factors affect our work. These days of outsourcing, globalization, the input you get for your work in your office is somebody else's output who does the work at night in some call center or BPO or someplace, or radiologist interpreting the X-ray in India or Australia. I went for some kind of MRI some years ago to Johns Hopkins. Then I asked the technician, when will the result come to my doctor who prescribed it? He said, it will 2 weeks. Then I said, why so long? He said, this MRI data will go to Australia. One person there examines, writes the report, that has to come to us within 10 to 12 days. Now, how much control do you have about that person, whether qualified or not, well qualified or not, maybe working at night when it is day for you here? So many things, uncontrollable factors come into the equation. And the report that my doctor gets to prescribe, it gets a, if it is not right, then he gives the treatment based upon that one. This kind of uncontrollability enters more and more into any field of work these days. There's nothing that you can do yourself completely. You depend upon someone. This is true in any kind of group effort. It's true in sports, true in politics, true in family life, personal life, true in professional life. All the time, some other uncontrollable factors enters into the equation and alters the outcome of your work. You may be the best worker. I give another real example. Some of you may remember, maybe 3 Olympics ago. Maybe 3 Olympics, 12 years or something ago. I was watching track and field, women's track and field. There was a 4x400 meters relay event. I was watching that one. In that Olympic, there was a young lady runner. Her name was Marian Jones. Some of you may remember. She was the best runner. When she ran, it was just a sheer beauty to watch, such a grace, such power, such speed. Wonderful, such grace. And she ran. The beauty and sheer speed. I was impressed with Marian Jones. She had said that she will get 5 gold medals. Just like Phelps had said, you will get 5 gold medals. She got. In that 4x400 meters relay, her team got the gold. 4 other runners are there, each runner runs 100 meters. Then that happened. She got other gold medals. 8 years later, 9 years later, the Olympic Committee, International Olympic Committee, they found out that she was at that time taking performance enhancement drugs. Very important. It was proved. They withdrew the gold medal from her. Not only did she lose the gold medal, 3 other runners in the same relay team who had gotten gold, team gold, they lost their gold medal. For some years they were all happy, you are gold medalists. Suddenly that gold medal went away, and those who had got silver, they got gold, etc. The result of our work is uncontrollable because it depends upon what other people put into that work. You are not the only worker in any situation. It happens. Retrospectively, for some time they all got gold, very happy. 4 people were very happy. But then after some years, 3 people who did not take drugs, they also lost their gold medal because of the 4th person's mistake. So how do you account for it? They ran the best race. So there is always this element of uncontrollability, unpredictability in the outcome of your work, whatever be the nature of work, and whatever best result you put in, there is no guarantee you will always succeed. This is all explained in very briefly in one sloka in the Gita, 14th sloka. 13th is introduction. Why there is this always the element of uncontrollability, unpredictability when it comes to the outcome of work? Why can't I always succeed if I do the best work? This is a question me. I do the best work, but why should I not succeed? Krishna says, no, you don't have any authority to dictate the outcome of your work. We are finding it now because of so many people involved in any kind of work, nothing that you can do by yourself. You have to depend upon somebody else's output as your input, and what you do produce is input for somebody else's work. Happens in team projects, senior engineering design projects, senior students have to do in college. 4 students work on a project. 3 of them are very hard-working people. 1 student goes off, then the whole team will get a B or something. So you can't control. If one person in the team does not pull the load, does not do the work properly, it affects the outcome of all the other 3 people's work also. Sometimes you don't have choice to decide whom you want to work with. If you work in a corporation or government, you don't know who is going to be your co-worker. That co-worker may be in some other country, working for some other company. You don't know who participate in your work. You don't know control. That is why solution to this situation is given in the following shloka, in the 2nd chapter. 47th shloka he says, Karmani evate adhikaraha mahapaleshvate adhikaraha. Then in 48th verse, Krishna, therefore what you should do, he said, in effect he said, shloka 48, 2nd chapter, do your best, accept the outcome, whatever it is, good or bad, calmly, you have no choice. You must jump up and down, scream and yell and scream, result will not change. Because you are not in control of the result. Hard to accept, that's the truth. True for me, true for everybody, true for kings and presidents and anybody. The other factors he did not mention there in the 2nd chapter. Here he mentions them. Briefly he mentioned, does not give explanation, only mention 5 things he mentions. Okay, so far, everything clear, ready to see the shloka? Shloka 13, only introduction, 13. Let us chant shloka 13.
One question.
Yes. There is nothing wrong in feeling good about success. If you succeed in your work, you feel happy. There's nothing wrong with that one. You don't have to feel miserable when you succeed. But when you fail, what should be your reaction? That's what he addresses. He does not address success. When you succeed, we have no question, we have no problem accepting the success, feeling good about it. It's not bad also. Result should be our concern, but acceptance must be practiced, even if it is not satisfactory. That is what he says. He does not say you should not feel good if work succeeds. It's okay to be happy when you succeed. If the failure comes, that's when you have to practice equanimity. Failure comes, you have done your best, still fails. Result is not good. Then what he says is, as long as you have done your part in the best possible way, you remain calm, because failure was not because of what you did not do. Failure was other factors over which you have no control. Weather, for example. When you are going somewhere, place to catch a flight or for an important meeting, you have to give a presentation at 8 o'clock to your corporate clients, you start with enough time, all over traffic jam and everything. Still, if there is an accident on the highway, all the 3 lanes are closed and you are stuck there, you can't reach on time, what can you do? Whose fault it is? Then you have to remain calm as possible. Don't become too upset. It doesn't help. It only makes the situation worse. Don't become too happy, bitter. I did my best. Failure was because of some other factors over which I had no control. Then that's all you can do. Because everybody can do only their best. Better than best you cannot do. You have done your best. As far as your part was concerned. And failure, if it happens, not because of anything shortcoming on your part, because of some other factor over which you have no control, then you say yourself, I did my best, what can I do? Accept it calmly. That's what he says. Nothing wrong if you become happy when you succeed, it's okay. You have to be happy.
To yourself.
Once you are offered the outcome, karma phala karma, what happens is that every action that we do, the result is influenced by what many other people do. Supposing yesterday I came from our ashrama in Silver Spring, Maryland, to Chicago, Midway Airport. For me to do that journey successfully, I should depend upon thousands of what other people do. Not hundreds, but thousands. For me to do that plane journey in around 40 minutes from Baltimore Airport to Midway Airport, how many thousands of people will have contributed to make it possible? If you think about it, starting from the ashrama, somebody drove me in a car to the airport. Many things could have gone wrong there before reaching the airport. Car may have broken down, may break down, or traffic jam may be there, something may happen. I reached the airport in time. Then at the airport, how many people have to work to make this checking in and everything possible? When I enter the plane should be in more good working condition. How many hundreds of people will have contributed to keep the plane in good condition? How many technicians, Boeing company, all those people made the plane, technicians maintain that one, baggage handlers, the gate agents, ticket agents, all those people, they have done their work properly. So I could reach here safely, and from here airport somebody came and picked me up and took me to their home. For this to happen, you can imagine how many large number of people will have contributed to make this possible. And if somebody does not do the work properly, that will affect my journey. If we know that one. Therefore, the result is not under our control. That's what we are going to study. And the solution to that problem, which he gave in the second chapter, Shloka 40, is do your best. Don't take recourse to inactivity. Mahate Sangos Takarmani. Last quarter of Sutta 47. There Sri Krishna says you should not also say, because the result is not under my control, why should I even bother? I just do the minimum and be done with it. Why should I bother to do my best, or I don't have to even do the work? Because I can't control the result. You can't take that kind of position. You have to do your best. May you never take recourse to inaction, he says. You should be active, you should do our duty properly with the best possible attitude, the best possible way possible for me. I should make myself a better worker, to use the best judgment to selecting the material property, procedure, methodology, whatever. Do my best. Then my part ends. Result is not up to me because many other factors come into the equation, and therefore I must accept the outcome with calmness, even if it is not to my liking. If I have done my part in the best possible way, my part is done. I am not responsible for the failure. Unless if I have done something wrong, then I have to blame myself, take the responsibility for failure. But if I have done my best, then I just have to accept it. If you don't accept it, what happens? You may become angry, bitter, jealous, yell and scream. That will only make the situation worse. It's not going to change the outcome. That's the conclusion. So let us do 13. 13 is introduction. Panchaitani Mahabaho
Panchaitani Mahabaho
Karanani Nibodhame Sankhye Kritam Te Proktani Siddhaye Sarva Karmanam. O Mahabaho Arjuna, Etani Panchakaranani. 5 factors are there in determining any work, outcome of any work. This is mentioned in the Vedanta Shastra. Sankhya Kritam Proktan, they have been mentioned 5 factors. Sarva Karmanam Siddhaye, for the success of any work, all work. If you want to succeed in any work, 5 things have to come together, out of which one of the things is what I do, my effort. There I have control. Not fully control there also. My effort depends upon what other people do in the same department or in the same team. To a large extent I have some control. But other 4 factors, I don't have complete controls or no control. Because I cannot decide who should be my co-worker. Those things are done by some other authorities. Even in your own business, you can hire the people you want to hire, but what they do after being hired is day to day they do different things. Some people may work very hard, put in the best effort, contribute to your success. Some people may not do that one. You thought they were the best workers, so things happen. Solution is do the best, leave the rest. Do the best, leave the rest. Rest means outcome. We have to do our best. Failure should not be because of something that I did not do properly. What I can do. Then what happens? If sometimes it may exceed better than I had thought. That's also possible. We don't always fail. Succeed many times. Sometimes you succeed more than we had expected. In some families it has happened. In one family, they have 3 children, and different family. All the 3 were brilliant students. All throughout their education, they got scholarships and grants and awards, everything. One boy was selected a White House Fellow for 1 year fellowship. Every year they'll select only 34 people from all over the country from different fields. He was a doctor, that boy. For 1 year he was a White House fellow with great distinction. Another girl in the same family, she was selected by Forbes as 30 under 30. Every year Forbes magazine chooses 30 young people under the age of 30 from different fields of life who are going to be leaders of thought. They advise in policy making, etc. One distinction, same family. So they expected, the parents were very happy. The children expected more than they had thought. They gave same opinion. So it's also possible. It's not that always we fail. We succeed and sometimes better than we had thought. Then we have no problem. In success we don't complain. We complain when there is failure. Why did I fail? I did my best. This addresses that situation. So he says there are 5 factors. Panchaitani mahabhaha karani nibodhame sarvakaramnam siddhaye. For a success, anyone, all work, 5 factors come into play. Now the 5 factors are listed in 14. That's the shloka we have to study. Adhishthanam tatha karta.
Adhishthanam tatha karta.
Karanam cha prithak vidham.
Karanam cha prithak vidham.
Vividasya prithak cheshta.
Vividasya prithak cheshta.
Daivam chaivatra panchamam.
Daivam chaivatra panchamam.
5 factors. Vividasya prathak cheshta. Daivam chaivatra panchamam. 4 factors we can understand. 5th one is a little bit difficult to understand. We will try to understand. First factor, adhishthanam. Adhisthana means, Shankara gives one interpretation. He says, Shankara's commentary says, adhishthanam iti, adhishthanam ichchadvesha sukha jnanadinam abhivyaktihi ashrayaha adhishthanam shariram. The ground, adhisthana, is the body in which are manifested attachment, aversion, etc. That is he says, adhisthana, all actions happens in the body and the mind, kshetra. All actions, where do they happen? Without any exception. Everything we do, good or bad, or whatever, happens where? In the body, mind. This is the locus, where work happens. Now, we can extend it a little bit. I can take some freedom. Shankara says, adhisthana means body, where work happens. True. But this body-mind functions in another environment, namely the family or the workplace, or in some other place like the temple. The body does not function, the body-mind does not function in isolation. It functions in another environment. That another environment, workplace, your office, your clinic, your school where you teach, or your family where you live, that exists in another bigger environment, namely the society or the country where you live. That country also exists in a bigger environment, namely the whole world. So at the same time, when we do any work, we are functioning in a multiplicity of concentric environments, not one environment. At the same time, we work in different environments. They're all at the same time environment for our work. I'm giving this talk here at the Hindu temple in Lemont, Illinois. Plus, I'm the first adhisthana is my body-mind. My body-mind is not good condition, my class won't be good. If your mind is confused, I will also not be able to give clear class. There's one environment. Where does it environment function? In this beautiful, most auspicious place possible, we have to do class. If I do the same class in some other building, in some other city, environment may be quite different. The environment includes the people who are listening to me, participating in the class. This one audience, best possible audience I have received by God's grace. If the audience is something in a school or college, They don't have the same attitude towards Hinduism or Dharma Gita. They may question, they may be skeptics. They may be skeptics. They may not accept what I say. A different question. Though environment matters. This temple, this place where class is being held, is in the city of Chicago in state of Illinois in the United States. Supposing I do the same class in India or Afghanistan or Iraq, then environment is wholly different. Therefore, all these environments, immediate environment, bigger environment, whole world, whatever happens in any other country affects every other country in this world today in modern days. Earlier they were all isolated. What happened in one village in India was not affected by what happened in another village 30 miles away. Every village was isolated. Every village grew its own food, had its own blacksmith, it has its own grocery shop, and its own animal husbandry. Everybody has his own cow or goat or whatever. It was self-sufficient. They grow their own food. But is it like that now? What happens in any part of the world can affect what happens in every other part of the world. That is the modern lifestyle is so interrelated, so complicated, so interdependent that we are not independent at all. What I do is affected by where my action happens, which country, which society, which building, which place, which audience. They all affect my work. So that's one factor which I may or may not have good control. Where I do the class, not always under my control. Sometimes I do class in a different family. Their environment is a little bit different. So it affects. Adhisthana means environment, where work happens. And we don't have complete control. Sometimes we have, sometimes we don't have. Supposing you are working for a company in the United States, in Chicago, good environment, you know the corporate policy environment, you are familiar with that one. Supposing they post you to some client's place in some other country, they have a client in some other country. There you have to work with the staff of the client people, not your co-workers here. Your co-workers will be somebody different there. That country has its own work policy, education, their environment, their national environment, whatever it is. I had a friend of mine, he's retired now. He was a nuclear engineer, quality assurance engineer. And he used to work for a company in this country. He is familiar with the work environment, corporate environment in this country. He grew up here, he went to school here, he knows. He was posted to Japan to do some work there for a few months. When he came back, we discussed with him how was it. He says the work environment is entirely different in Japan than it is here. Very different. Same project. So he can't control that environment. And these environments interact with each other. What happens in the America affects what happens in this country, in this county, in this temple. What happens in some other country, in Russia or China, someplace affects what happens in America. How much control do you have over the environment? But you can do it the best wherever you are. That's all you can do. Adhishthanam, one factor, environment, where work happens, affects the work. And you don't have always full control over where you work. You have to work someplace where you are asked to work, where you find the work. Second is where you have more control. Adhishthanam tatha karta. You are the karta. Your body, mind, your sense organs, your education, your qualification, your training, your insight, your experience. There you have more control, maximum control. You can be a better karta by taking more courses, continuing education, recertification, all those things. You can be a better karta. You can improve your qualification, you can get more training with modern developments in your field. There you have more control, karta. You are the karta. Third factor is karanam chapartagvidam. Karanam is instrument. We use many kinds of instruments. The immediate instrument is the mind. If your mind is clear, my work will be good. If your mind is muddled, confused, angry, not in a good mood, then not my work that day. Mind is the first instrument. Second level of instruments are the sense organs. My eyesight, my hands and feet and other sense organs that I use in my work. If you are a pilot and if you are not in good mood, some pilot got drunk and he was arrested. So piloting a plane, 300 passengers are there. Their life depends upon him being in good mood, good condition. Supposing he gets drunk. What about the fate of the passengers? 300 people is sitting in the plane. So you see how helpless we are. How helpless we are. Everything depends upon some other uncontrollable factor. So karta, karanam is instrument. There I have a little bit more control. I can choose the best instrument, but sometimes the company says use this computer, your personal choice, but this is the company policy. There you don't have much control. Sometimes you have, sometimes you don't have. Depends on karanam, which instrument you use. That instrument you use, like the computer or the mammograph machine or some other sophisticated machine, X-ray machine or MRI machine or something that you use, was manufactured in some other country, maintained by some contractors, so the contracting another company, maintenance company. All they do, how they do, affects your work. How much control do you have over the instrument? All these things, many people in many countries are involved. Because the machine is not giving proper readings. The radiologist may be the best doctor, result will be unpredictable. How many uncontrollable factors enter into play even in the instrument? Supposing the lab where your patient goes for a test, that has some instrument, and the technician does not do it properly, or the instrument itself is not functioning properly, malfunction. That affects your work. No control. 21, no. Very strong karanam, instrument. Some control you have. In your immediate you can choose this or that instrument. Partial. Fourth factor is vividasya pratak chesta. There you have a little bit more control. Chesta means effort. What kind of methodology you use, what approach you use, that you can decide more or less. The company may also have some policy. You see how many kinds of constraints, limitations affect your work. Vividasya pratak chesta, your effort, largely you can decide how much effort, what methodology, how much to do, but sometimes it is also subject to constraints outside your control. Fourth factor. First is environment, adhisthana. Second thing is karta, the doer. Third thing is karanam, instrument. Fourth thing is chesta, effort. Effort, methodology, there you have a little bit more control. Fifth factor is totally uncontrollable. That is daivam chayavatra panchamam. Daivam comes. The word daivam has been interpreted differently by different commentators. Shankara's commentary for daivam is a little bit different. You may have to extend it a little bit. There he says, daivam cha eva daivam atra eteshu chaturthushu cheshta eteshu chaturshu panchamam panchanam puranam adityadi chakshuradyanagrahagam, he says. Shankara's commentary is the presiding deity presiding over different parts of our personality. Adityadi chakshura. Adityadi chakshuradi. Chakshu means eyes. In our way of thinking, we believe that different parts of our personality are controlled by different deities in nature. Eyes are controlled by sun. Breathing is controlled by Ashwini Devatas. and hands are controlled by Indra. Like that, some such thinking is there. He says that. Now that is, if the sun controls my eyesight and my heart function, then what do I can pray to sun god to give me good eyesight and keep my heart in good condition. But we can extend it a little bit. Daivam means, some other commentator has said, the effect of past actions bearing influence on the result of my present actions. I did something good or bad 20 years ago, and I am doing this work now. This class I am doing today, Gita 18th chapter, and today in Chicago. What I did or did not do 50 years ago is affecting my work today. I know from my own experience. If I had taken some other different courses when I was in college, I could have been a better teacher now. But at that time, 50 years, 60 years ago, I left college 62 years ago. I did not know that today I'll be doing Gita class in Chicago and Illinois. I didn't know anything about America or Bhagavad Gita. Nothing was there. Wholly different environment. So what I could have done, which would have helped me today in my class here, I did not do because I had no idea what I would be doing 62 years later. And something that I did do is helping me now. Both, I can say both in my life. Something that I did do is helping me now. So I have no control over the past. What I did, I cannot undo. What I did not do, I cannot do. Go back in the past. Nothing can be done. This is another meaning of Daivam. Another uncountable factor is what other people do in their lives. Although the people who maintain the equipment you use, who are they, where are they working, what country? No way to control. Therefore, in view of the uncontrollability and unpredictability is the outcome of our work, just follow what Sri Krishna said in 248, second chapter, sloka 48. There he said, Yogastha kuru karmani sangam jaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Very important sloka. Siddhi means success in our work. Asiddhi means failure in our work. Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva, remaining equanimous in success and failure, but doing our best. I should do my best. There I have control. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Equanimity in accepting good and bad. Sukha dukkhe samay kritva labha labho jaya jaya. 238. That is the essence of yoga. And every day life provides opportunity in family, in workplace, in society, everywhere for us to practice equanimity. Every day we get opportunity. Life is a growing, learning process. Whole life is learning process. So many learning opportunities will come. Because every day you will do something, and then every day result will come. Some good, some bad, some acceptable, not. You practice equanimity. Opportunity to grow. Every day you can grow. That is the conclusion. Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam nirvachate. But do the work proper. Our part should be complete. I should not say, oh, I should have done it in a different way, I would have succeeded. Under that day's condition, whatever information you had at that time, you may have better information later which you could not have foreseen at that time.
दर्शन तो घन श्याम नाथ मोरे अखियाँ प्यासी रे दर्शन तो घन श्याम नाथ मोरे अखियाँ प्यासी रे दर्शन तो घन